Hello, how everyone? How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a wonderful day so far, and y'all taking it easy. My name is Xmax, and welcome y'all for today's special stream. We're going to be reading a few more chapters of yesterday's story. From VOD of the Dragon Ball What If story. Yeah, we're going to be continuing a few more chapters. I'm not going to be reading too much because I want to rest my voice. But then we're going to be playing some random game. I mean, yesterday I wanted to play some Risk of Rain, so probably we're going to be playing that. But that's after we are done with reading a few chapters. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Hello, boys. How you doing? How you doing, kitty? Hope you're doing well and you're taking it easy. Today, man, has been quite chill and cold as well, though it could be a little bit better. Luckily, I have my comfy wait, here. I have my comfy blanket. Pretty comfy because in here is quite cold right now, so I need my blanket to get more comfy. By the way, I'll be uploading the video the yesterday streams on my YouTube channel. That if you want to go and follow, you can join /Xmaxvc. Over there you can see all the previous VODs and I've been saving as much as I can. So yeah, if you want to check them out, and you can go there. I have to just edit a few things, and yeah, I thought you will have done that already. Lol. Reading the chapters, you mean? Anyway, let's move on to the how to say. Sorry for that. I got a little bit sleepy. Uploading your last stream to YouTube. I mean, I need to fix a couple stuff, but I'll do it soon. It's not that complicated, so no worries about that. But yeah, let's jump right to today's chapters, shall we? There we go. Hey, it's me. It's me. And I am here to pop you out. Alright, so last time we left off in chapter 5 and Dragon Ball Z Special, Bojack Unbound. Alright, I don't remember this one, but I mean on the from the original story, but let's give it a shot. It's you. It's me. Alright. I'm going to lower more the music because the idea is that you can only hear my voice and not the music. So there we go. That should be more than enough. Hopefully it's very low. Okay. So wait, there we go. Sorry. Alright. So Chapter 5, Dragon Ball Z Special, Bojack Unbound. Few months after Grandpa Gohan passed away, the Z Fighters have been seen as heroes while keeping a low profile of their lives. They do get noticed by fans when they take part in tournaments with this new tournament being hosted by Mr. Satan, the world's champion of martial arts. Only Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, future Trunks, future Hagisi, present Hagisi, and Tien take part as they get through the as they get through the tournament with ease. The others are sitting with the crowd, cheering on their friends and family. Android 18 is now with the Z Fighters in the stands, watching to see if Hagiso is worth her time to be with. While not getting excited at first, 18 gets into it over time, as everything continues just like the originals, until the meeting of Bojack and his crew. Hagiso and Gohan are in their finals, ready to face each other, until they get interrupted by Bojack, who is wanting to thank Goku by killing him for freeing him and his crew from King Kai's planet. But both Saiyans turn Super Saiyans. They were about to attack Bojack until the rest of his crew show up with their friends, and this just annoys them both that they attack the tournament of their own entertainment. Bojack didn't notice that Sengia, I don't know how to pronounce it, isn't there with them, but both Saiyans also noticed that Krillin is there also, but they both showed up side by side as Krillin gave Sengia a hurtful hour of sweet words and convincing her to switch sides, as it is it is really not fun or good to be a villain. Bojack doesn't take this to his liking, as he orders his men to attack those two. He takes those two while he takes on the Saiyans. But Bojack is getting hurt very easy. But then Bojack, Baida, and Buyin transform into their pose-up transformations. From above in heaven, King Kai and Goku are unhappy of the current situation, as Goku wish there is something he can do, but he can't do anything yet. Back to the fight, Raditz showed up after feeling something was wrong, leaving Gine with the family as Raditz takes on Bujin. Raditz struggles at first, but then Hagisu helps her brother to kill Bujin, as they turn their attentions to Baito, who is using energy strings on Zangia and Krillin, hurting them both. Then, he lets them go after hurting them enough. Baito and Bojack both do the energy strings on the others, hurting to a point of making Gohan to go Super Saiyan 2. He first made work on Baito killing him, then his fight against Bojack. Bojack is slightly still stronger than Gohan, as he locked him in a bear hug, trying to kill him, but Goku interferes by punching Bojack's face, making him flying across the field, then crashes into a building. Bojack is now annoyed of this as he charges at Gohan, ready to kill him for good, but he gets spun back, kicked by a returning Piccolo, sending Bojack into another building. Piccolo gives Hagisu and Gohan a Senzu each before he goes off and gives the others a beam as he gives two to Krillin while they chat a little, asking if they should trust this woman. Zangia is able to stand up with Krillin, helping her as she pouts a little. He goes on saying that she just turned her back to Bojack, but she understands of the distrust, and it must be earned by the others, with Krillin bashing her. Everyone gets back on their feet and seeing Gohan going up against Bojack for the final battle, which Bojack is proving to be more difficult to fight against than. They all join in attacking Bojack to get him off guard and off balance. Gohan opens up his mind as he turns into his Super Saiyan 2 form. He then attacks Bojack again, but he's a bit too much for Super Saiyan 2, as the others got around him and fired in their most powerful attacks on all sides, making Bojack nervous. All attacks hit Bojack head on, engulfing him into nothing, killing the monster pirate, leaving Earth in a peaceful state once more. While Krillin gained a girlfriend when Zenga kissed his cheek and holding his hand, showing that she's staying with the team. After everyone gets another Zenzo Haggis and Gohan gets back into their fighting stances, which annoys everyone, making them all sigh. But Krillin mentions that the tournament isn't over and they are still in the final. So, so they need to leave them to their battle. Annoyingly, everyone agrees as they all leave the field. Gohan and Hagisu started their fight as each one is toe-to-toe in their Super Saiyan forms. The Hagisu sees a small window as she uses every trick that the Gohan will know, then use new tricks to throw him off balance. Gohan tries his best to beat his auntie, but he only managed to throw her off balance a little bit. But at the end of the fight, Hagisu comes out on top of the tournament by knocking out Gohan, leaving a smile on her face, feeling proud of Gohan. Hagisu went on to beat the champion of the world, Mr. Satan. As the two meet first time, they greet each other out of honor and respect for each other. The fight starts, but easily within 3 minutes of the final battle, Hagisu wins, but makes a deal with the champion. She only takes the prize money while he remains champion, as the title won't suit her at all, as she only likes to win for the prize money than earning the world championship title. After the tournament, as everyone went their own ways, Hagisu felt like walking for a bit before flying back to her house on Mount Houses. He had made a homemade house near a river, just on the middle of the mountain. Upon arriving back home, Hagisu went into the bank first to cash in her prize money, then went shopping for supplies and even a present for someone. But that someone is Android 18, who is waiting in the house of Hagisu to return, and their relationship took off from there, which makes Hagisu happy to be with the one she loves. Oh, that's pretty cute. And yeah, pretty nice. I don't remember much of this happening in the original story, but nice of them. Alright, up to the next story. Chapter 6. Oh boy, the Majin Buu Saga. Fucking hell, this was a train wreck. Alright. 7 years has passed since the defeat of Cell and Bojack, age 774. Everyone's lives have changed since then. Krillin married Zengia, while Hagisu and 18 have also been married, as they enjoyed a life of entering tournaments and winning prize money. Everything at this point is like the original, until the tournament where everyone has gathered and waited for Goku as he was going back for a day and wanted to see how everyone is doing and how strong they have gotten. Like the original, everyone was about to split up to look for him, but Goku shows up with Baba, as she explains to everyone that Goku is only for 24 hours, which is enough for Goku to have fun while in the tournament. Goku is happy to see his family and friends, as well as seeing Goten for the second time, as the two easily bonded together. Sorry for that. Goku couldn't help but notice that Hagisu isn't holding a baby. Is holding a baby and standing next to 18 as he goes over them and asks how their life has been. The married couple happily introduce their daughter, Riku. But Goku is confused how they have a half Saiyan baby that's half Saiyan baby. Where was I forgot. Oh, there we go. Confused how they have a half Saiyan baby. That's that's when Bulma comes in and explains to Goku that she used their blood and simply mixed it together, then made a clone of the two. She then goes on to say that she is Riku's godmother, which Goku only responds with his iconic chuckle and smile as he is happy to be Riku's uncle. Not in any relation to Riku from Kingdom Hearts. Like the original, everything stayed the same until the fight. My phone just annoyed me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that be. Like the original, everything stayed the same until the fight against Goku and Vegeta. But in this what if universe, it is Goku against his sister Hagisu, who was still feeling guilty for letting her brother die at the hands of Cell. Babidi easily took control over Hagisu's head, making her his slave to get more energy for Majin Buu. But Goku he jumps in and starts fighting his sister to knock back in some senses to her head. Hagisu's new power-up has made her stronger, but she doesn't notice that Goku has been holding back his power as he doesn't want to hurt her. But that's hard to do when she's gone crazy, and also drunk with power. Goku finally got the sense into her once Majin Buu was awakened, but before they got to stop Buu, Hagisu knocks out her brother after she realized what she has done being under Babidi's control. She says goodbye to her brother as she darts off to Majin Buu, where she finds Trunks and Goten there as they were about to fight him, but Hagisu stops them. Piccolo shows up and in his stance to get ready for another fight round, with her crying for Goten, asking Hagisu why she knocked out Trunks, as she did the same to Goten. Piccolo gets what she's going to do, and a way for asking forgiveness of her sins. Piccolo takes both boys and flies off with them. Then he spots Goku on the ground as he stops to pick him up. Then Krillin shows up, which Piccolo gives him the boys to carry while he takes Goku. Hagisu has backed full of tears down her face, knowing she has hurt her brother deeply while she says her goodbyes in her mind, turning into Super Saiyan 2 as she powers up to her fullest, getting ready to blow up Buu for good. Hagisu exploded along with Majin Buu, but as the explosion has finished, Raditz showed up too late to help, only to see his sister being turned into stone, which leaves Raditz heartbroken. As he is frozen, still he couldn't do anything to see the stone body of Hagisu fall to the ground, then charred into pieces, leaving behind a world that she loved. Raditz sensed around him, but he couldn't find or see anything of Buu. He then flies off back to the lookout, where everyone has went to after the tournament. 18. Holding hers and Hagisu's daughters in her arms, felt something was wrong, but she couldn't figure out what it was until Raditz, Piccolo and Krillin returned with Goku, Goten and Trunks. 18 slowly walks over to the others, as she doesn't see Hagisu with them, holding back emotions, hoping she doesn't get the answers she hears. Raditz confirms her fears as she falls to her knees, bursting out of screaming and tears, coming her face, crying for her wife, with Raditz comforting her. Peace was short-lived as Buu has started to regenerate himself, as Babidi is pleased that Buu is completely dead, but he wished he would have been dead as Buu grabs Babidi by the throat, then chokes him to death. While Buu is free to do whatever he wants, he is still mad for losing to these Z-Fighters, which makes him super mad. That steam comes out of his body, making a gray cloud above his head and forming pure evil Majin Buu. The two come face to face each other as this fight plays out like the original, and this forms the rebirth of Super Buu as he first thought of candy, and so he flies off to destroy and turned people into candy, eating them while doing so. This caught the Z Fighters' attention after only a few days of thinking that Buu was dead, but as soon the news reached the fighters, they darted to North City to stop Buu and save whoever they can. Super Buu sensed the Z Fighters coming, but it doesn't bother him as he just eats away until he gets a powerful double punch by Raditz, and Piccolo making Buu to go through a small candy shop and out in the other end of it. Back on the lookout, Goku looks over the edge and takes a long deep thought on his next plans. But he needs someone to help him, so he waits until he gets Buu alone, and he gets his chance and darts off to face Buu alone like he always do. Everyone else felt Goku leaving the lookout as they all retreat back on the lookout to see what Goku has planned this time for Buu. As everyone made it back on the lookout, they turn around in time to feel a very strong power going up and up, while everyone couldn't believe it is coming from Goku. Raditz is the only one who felt this power as soon Goku arrived and smirked. Sorry for that. Goku is currently roaring and screaming at the top of his lungs. He first showed Buu of Super Saiyan 1 and 2 while he slowly and painfully turned into Super Saiyan 3. Hoping this would be enough to stop Buu. Buu had a part of him removed and hoping to absorb Goku and take his power for himself. But that part of him got blown up by Goku, who just finally turned into Super Saiyan 3, as he then starts attacking Buu. As Goku is going back to the afterlife, everything after the fight and training Goten and Trunks for the fusion dance remains the same all the way up to Goku's revival from Elder Kai and going back to Earth to stop Buu. Raditz left the lookout to join his brother to try and give Piccolo some more time with the boys' training to fuse. Goku and Buu are currently fighting until Buu gets sucker punched by Raditz as the two brothers are side by side. Again, their fight got more intense for Buu. Buu left behind 2 copies of himself to fight Goku and Raditz, but Buu flew off to the lookout, wanting to kill as many of them as he wants. Upon arriving, Buu wasted no time in absorbing Piccolo and then Gohan as soon as he got back from the land of Kais, making Buu into his Buu Gohan form. After turning all the other fighters into candy, he then eats them all, killing them just as Goku and Raditz returns. They are in shock to what Buu has done. Before they could do anything, Buu starts off a very powerful death ball, as Goku grabs his brother and teleports himself and Raditz to the land of Kai, just when Earth was blown up. Buu just floating in space, sensing Goku from afar as he teleports them to them. But as Buu arrived, he is in shock to see that the brothers have fused together, becoming Raditz, then Super Saiyan Raditz. Raditz's clothes looks more like Goku's clothes, with some Raditz armor pieces being placed for the forearms and torso, with their hair being more like Goku's, just a little longer, since Raditz has long hair. Raditz attacks Buu, hoping they make him mad enough that he wants to absorb the warrior, which he does. Raditz uses a shield technique to stop Buu from making him part of Buu, as they're inside of Buu. Sorry, that's a little bit confusing. They get to work on freeing Gohan and Piccolo, but as they get them down, the two of them defused. They both notice Fat Boo, but they should leave him there as they pick up Piccolo and Gohan, slowly turning back into Super Saiyan form, which gives them a chance to leave Boo's body. As they left his body, Boo's body. As they left his body, both brothers used their combined Kamehameha wave to end Boo once and for all, while he was still changing back. With Boo being destroyed, Goku and Raditz earned a good rest, but only to get their breath in back, since they need to use the Dragon Balls on Namek. They brought back Earth, then everyone that Boo has killed, even their friends and families, are back on the lookout. They made their final wish for everyone on Earth, except Z Fighters, to forget Boo. As soon Piccolo and Gohan awakens, Goku teleports them all back to Earth, and on the lookout, where Goku asks Bulma for the Dragon Raider. As soon he's got it, Goku darts off, leaving everyone confused and wondering what his wish is. But as soon as he got back from a few hours of finding the Dragon Balls, he summons the dragon, which he only needs 2 wishes, since this version does 3 wishes now. Everyone stepped back as they watched to see what Goku is up to, but then they heard his wishes, and before them is a revived Hagisu, who is looking pissed after everything she had done under Ababi's control, as she falls to her knees screaming and crying. Goku lets the dragon go and rest as he then tends to his sister with 18 next to her, also telling her that they are mad with what she did. She done it from someone else's control. Hagisu stopped crying as she then embraced with her family and hugging 18 and their daughter together, who promised them she will do better in the future. Another month later, in Grandpa Gohan's old home, Hagisu, with Riku in her arms, is waiting for Goku as she wishes he will hurry up for their family and friends reunion on Master Roshi's island, where everyone is waiting for them while partying a little as they wait. Goku finally ready, leaves with Hagisu and Riku as they finally get to see everyone again, even it has been only a month. But upon arriving, Gina greets them before they enter the show, saying to her children how proud she is of them for being this strong. Smiles are brought into their faces as they all enter Roshi's home, and the party finally starts on their reunion. After the party had finished, everyone got together to take a big family photo. Aww. That was a really cute final part, and that was really interesting. That's a really good story. And I remember that the original story of the Majin Buu saga was kind of a pain wreck, so to say. Like, there were too many things happening, but yeah, it was pretty interesting part of the story. Alright, so let's move on to the last chapter I'm going to be reading today, so I can rest my voice a little and continue tomorrow. To chapter 7, Battle of the Gods, Resurrection of Saga. Oh boy, are we jumping now to Super? Fucking hell. 4 years has passed, age 778, since the defeat of Majin Buu. Everyone's lives returned to normal, except some warriors who enjoy training too much, has continued as such, but on a planet that's many light years away, is home to a very powerful god of destruction named Beerus, with his assistant Whis. Whis is heading to Lord Beerus' bed chamber as his alarm clocks started exploding, which annoys Beerus, but he had to get up or Whis will do something about it. Beerus and Whis talks about their plans, but Beerus had a long thought on something and then it hits him. He was thinking about this Super Saiyan god. Whis informs Beerus that There's some living Saiyans that are currently on Earth. Well, there's 3 on King Kai's planet. But before we go on about Vegeta's current location, Beerus wishes to head for King Kai's world and then Earth, just to find his arch rival that he hopes will satisfy him for the urge of fighting another god. Beerus asks Whis how long will it take to get there, and he responded, "It depends on the writer." Beerus just says, Sounds like you in your average daylight novel." They then depart, leaving to meet the 3 Saiyans on King Kai's planet. Speaking of King Kai, he is playing Dark and cover as the Goku, Hikes and Raditz have been training non-stop as they wished to become stronger, in case someone stronger than Majin Buu will come along to do damage. King Kai felt something through his antennas, feeling a godly ki heading his way, but he knows who it is, and he then made everyone stop training, then asks Hikes and Raditz to get Goku inside. He starts explaining about a very powerful guest is going, and he doesn't want the guest nor Goku to meet, or it is just chaos for them. Then King Kai just remembered that Hagiso is just like Goku, so Raditz could tell with King Kai's expression as he picks up his siblings, dragging them into the house, and leaves it closing the door behind him. Raditz went over to King Kai to see what's going to happen next, but just then Whis shows up with Beerus, and Raditz remember the two when he was very young, and so he shows respect to them. Beerus wishes to see his full potential, which he politely refuses as he wishes not to spar with a god. But then Beerus noticed his siblings hiding in the house. Beerus asked them both to come forward, and as they do, both Raditz and King Kai got very nervous, knowing what the two of them are like with fighting. First, Goku went up as Beerus wishes to see them both using their most powerful forms. Then Goku went all out in Super Saiyan 2, which form as he has been training mostly in that one as the two spar. Raditz and King Kai both play duck and cover to avoid the fight. Goku is easily knocked down within only a few seconds of their sparring match, which Hagiso chuckles, but she quickly stops as she then takes her turn to spar with Beerus. Hagiso, without a single thought, just jumps straight to Super Saiyan 2, but halts in her tracks before Beerus as she then starts screaming and yelling, turning into Super Saiyan 3. While she's still changing, Beerus and Whis notices some red auras appearing around her, but the others hadn't noticed, only they sensed how strong she gotten. Hagiso charged at Beerus, though both of her brothers, King Kai, Whis, and Beerus noticed there's something wrong with her, as if she's taking it more seriously than doing a simple sparring match. Beerus gets his window as he then teleports behind Hagiso and chops her neck, knocking her out as everyone else comes to her aid. Whis used his staff to scan her. Whis informs them that she's going to be alright, but she will remain here on the King Kai's care while they return to Earth. As Goku mentioned, maybe the Dragon Balls could help them for what they are looking for. But before they leave, Raditz just gives out a terrifying scream as everyone is wondering what it is, and he tells Goku that they forgot about Bulma's birthday, which Goku also gives out a terrifying yell. And so they quickly ask Beerus if they should spend the day at the party, then ask the dragon afterwards. Beerus thinks about it, and then he agrees if Earth's food satisfies him, as the brothers are happy to hear. They all grab Goku's shoulders and teleported back to Earth, where Bulma is annoyed with both of them and gives Goku and Raditz big slaps to get back off their heads. Bulma barks at them both for being late, but Raditz quickly takes his wife to explain of this situation and why they need the Dragon Balls. Bulma at first is mad that they need the Dragon Balls for this, but she thinks about it and doesn't want Earth to be destroyed. An hour later, while Beerus and Whis are enjoying themselves, Raditz and Bulma return with the Dragon Balls as they then summon the dragon to ask him about the Super Saiyan God form. He explains it to the others, but they are short on one Saiyan. But then King Kai contacts everyone, warning them that Hagisu is pissed off and heading their way, which Goku and Raditz are ready to catch her and holding her down. As soon as Hagisu landed, she is jumped by her brothers, stopping her in her tracks. But she quickly calms down and gets herself up as they noticed she's calm. As soon as Hagisu landed, she is jumped by her brothers, stopping her in her tracks. But she quickly calms down and gets herself up. As soon they notice she's calm and not pissed anymore, 18 walks over to her wife and kisses her cheeks as the two wrap their hands around each other's waist. Then Hagisu is wondering what's going on since she was out cold. After a long explanation, Hagisu is hyped to see what it looks like, but then she had a thought: who should be the host? Raditz and Goku talk about that and it should be Goku, but Beerus interrupt them and suggests that their sister should be the host. Hagisu bluntly points at herself, but then Goku agrees with the idea as Hagisu didn't get a word to say. But then Whis comes up to her, showing a replay on his staff, showing that her Super Saiyan 3 form had sparked some great aura. Surprised that the key they now felt was God Key, and Hagisu finally agrees to be the form's host. Once everyone forms a circle around Hagisu as their power starts flowing inside of her body. The ritual is done and Hagisu has finally become the Super Saiyan God, which surprises everyone, and even Goku is most happy to see how far she has come to gain that power. Beerus interrupts as he wishes to test the new power. Which Hagisu gets in her stance, and the two started fighting everywhere. Everything follows the movie. Just Hagisu takes the lead, then Goku as they reached out of space. The final fight now starts as Hagisu gives it her all, but Beerus fires his supernova ball. Hagisu turns back into Super Saiyan 2 and tries her best to stop the blast. This is just too much for her as she faints in space. Just as she seems like all hope has lost and slowly drifting to pass out, she hears her family and friends, but mostly she hears the love of her life shouting her name out. That's what it all takes to wake her up, stopping the ball in a fit of rage, as her god powers returns to take it out once and for all. Beerus congrats Hagisu for stopping his ball, but it's also curious and wanted to know where that sudden power came from. But Hagisu doesn't have a clue what just happened. She then explains she just felt her heart skip a beat, then pure rage. Before she could finish, she passed out with Beerus saving her, followed by Whis, as they return to Earth. But as all of them fear that Beerus is going to destroy Earth, he tells them that he won't be doing that anymore. Beerus explains that he wishes to train her, and also Goku and Raditz are welcome to train with him, and Whis as they wish to be in he wanted them to bring them food as offerings. Both brothers accept this offer if it means to keep Earth from being destroyed. Also just then, Hagisu wakes up in 18's arms, looks over to Beerus and Whis as she gives them a soft smile, then nods at them, accepting their offer to be trained. A year later, age 779, Hagisu, Goku and Raditz are happily spending time together again and training under Whis as he has high hopes for those Saiyans, hoping they will go beyond Super Saiyan God. Beerus just happily sits on the sidelines, watching them all being trained, but he also has a bad feeling in his gut that he sensed someone's key before, but he checks it off for now. Everything from the saga remains the same, up until the Saiyans return to Earth to face Frieza, who has been resurrected by his forces. Now he plans to take over Earth again. Hakuto wasted no time in being the first one to take on Frieza, as she always wanted a rematch with the Emperor. Frieza went fully to final form as Hakuto turns into Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue, which displaces Frieza, thinking that Hakuto found her big boy pants. Where Hakuto congrats Frieza to finally found his spine, which ticked him off as the two start fighting. But Hakuto easily has the upper hand on Frieza as everyone looked in shock and fear of Hakuto's power, which makes the brothers worried too. Hakuto and Frieza's fight continued on until Frieza awakens his new golden form, but much later Frieza gets boxed into a corner. But Frieza's commander sneaks shot Hakuto through the chest as she screams in pain. Frieza was about to stomp her wound until Raditz jumps in, punched Frieza away, then gives his sister a heartwarming speech to what she's doing wrong to protect everyone. He then throws her to Goku, who gives her a senzu bean. Hakuto sits up to watch their fight, but Frieza blasts through the earth, making it to blow up along with everyone on it. But Whis puts a shield around everyone. As much everyone is in pain, they all notice how much in pain Hakuto is, as she didn't notice she's in her blue form for a while. Whis asks her if she's willing to change her choice, which she will accept this responsibility one time, and with that, Whis reset time. Just as Frieza was about to blow it up a second time, but both Hakuto and Goku yell his name as the two charge up their new versions of Kamehameha waves. Hakuto yells Dragon Wave Kamehameha. Hakuto yells Dragon Wave Kamehameha! He waves it's a little bit tricky. She waveforms that of a dragon, looking all violet and blue in the middle, while Goku's version is Burst Kamehameha, as the two waves combine together, forming one powerful wave aiming at Frieza, as Raditz dashed out of its way. Frieza, frozen in fear, couldn't get away from the blast as it sends him back to his hell, ending Frieza for good. While they ended it, Raditz come up to them, both saying to them that it was his turn, but Bulma tells him that they rewind time and saved everyone. Raditz gets the full story from Bulma, while the others celebrate on their recent victory. But as soon as Goku and Raditz comes up to Hakuto, she looked away, telling them she knows she messed up and to give her some slack. But both brothers are just happy she made the right choice, and to listen to them from now on to get stronger, which she smiles back at them and gives them both a thumbs up. Oh, that's a pretty good story, and I like the how Hakuto is basically like getting all the power-ups instead of Goku, but not in like, oh, I got new powers going to beat everyone up. No, it's like, oh, I got power-ups, but something bad is happening to me. Like, that's a really trade-off. Like, at least it gives like more of a limit, I guess. But yeah, overall, I really like it. I really like these past chapters are really cool. But yeah, this is going to be the last chapter we're going to be stopping by. Tomorrow I'll be jumping back again to read more. But now I'll be taking a break because I'm really tired and want to rest my voice a little bit. So yeah. For now, I'll put the VR and be right back in screen, and I'll be back in 5 minutes, somewhat like that. But yeah, maybe I'll stay around for it because we are going to be playing some Risk of Rain. So yeah, see you in a bit.